All right, guys, welcome to the Old Glory Red Report. We are back with Mark. Today we are going to be talking the Open Cup. We did get the win, which is great. We'll also be talking about Phoenix coming up at the weekend. It is a away game to Arizona. Hopefully the boys can go there and get some points, and we'll dive into that in just a minute. But let's first just talk a little bit about the Open Cup. We did get the 3-1 victory over San Francisco City, or City as they call themselves. In my opinion, it was a bit nervy in the first half. We did let in a goal again after scoring. Kind of made me think, is it going to happen again? That's just where I'm at with the back line right now. I'm not sure if they have it, even against a PDL team. I'm not sure if they have what it takes to keep a clean sheet at all.
Yeah, it just seems like no matter the opponent, we're giving up too many goals. We have 2 clean sheets on the year,
yeah.
I believe, out of 11 matches. So you'd like to see that number bump up a little bit, at least get a clean sheet every 3 games or so. But yeah, lately, definitely the back line's been giving up some goals, Reno especially. So.
Yeah, and I think that was the story of the first half of the Open Cup. We scored. It was kind of an ugly goal, but we'll take it. But then they scored wide open, no one there to defend. It was just kind of that. So we had that little bit of nerve. It was a better second half. We came out playing a lot better in the second half, got a couple more goals, summed up the game. So, it was good to see us go there and get the victory. We did see some players come in. Hadawin came in. We saw Horde back in the lineup, which was great. This is an opportunity for those players to come in and get a chance. We want wins, but it's always nice to use this as an opportunity to get some of those players back.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to see a few new faces out there. Kind of mix in with most of the same starters, but it is a little bit unnerving to give up a goal, especially early in the game with what's basically our starting back line, at least in the middle. But it was a good chance for other players to get involved. Hopefully, moving forward, we can solve some of those defensive issues.
Yeah. Well, with the win, we do move on to another chance at Reno. Maybe get a little redemption for ourselves. Going to the Greater Nevada Field to play them on next Wednesday, the 23rd. So hopefully we can go there and get the redemption. But before we have that, we do have to worry about the big challenge, and that's going to be Phoenix at the weekend. What are you thinking is going to be some of the takeaways for that game?
Phoenix is hot right now. There's really no doubt about it. They did lose their Open Cup match. They also rotated a lot of different players in. So, maybe going back, if they would have played their starting caliber lineup, they get that win. But, what is it, 6 games now that they haven't suffered a defeat in the league? They have 1 loss on the season, and that was to Real Monarchs' first place team.
Yeah.
So, with all that said, they're hot right now. They've won 3 games in a row. They haven't lost in a while. They're scoring goals.
Yeah, they have a goal difference. It's outrageous. I think they have a 12 goal difference right now, 22 scored and 10 given. And for us with our back line and the way we've been scoring, those numbers don't bode well. We're going to have to see a real strong back line. We're going to have to see the guys really step up, not just in this game, but in other games coming up, because we do have a tough lineup coming up. And this is going to be the first hurdle in that lineup. This is a team where they've got 3 or 4 guys that are at 3-4 goals already on the season. So goals are coming everywhere, and that's going to be something to look out for. It's a team that can score from many different players, and I think we're going to see that. And I think we're going to have to be, again, really strong in the back line to make that not a problem for us this game. Yeah,
they got 4 guys who've scored at least 3 goals this year. No other than the man, the myth, the legend, Didier Drogba. Who doesn't know who that guy is, right? He's been scoring recently, but it's not just him. They do have multiple players that are creating lots of chances, scoring goals. Especially the last few games, they've scored some goals in bunches. So
we lost the scarf. So again, that's going to be a big worry for me in this game. It's going to be the fact that they have potential to score, and our back line has been real leaky. That being said, they have played some competition in the last few weeks. It hasn't been the top-notch competition either. They have had Tulsa recently. They've had Los Dos twice. They had OKC. So they've gone through a few games where, it's not the toughest competition, but they have put in 8 goals in the last 2 games. So again, that's kind of worrisome. Some things to look out for is they were playing a 4-2-3-1 earlier in the season, and against some of these weaker teams, they switched to a three-defender back line. Now, I don't know if against us he'll move back to the 4 just because we do have a more potential for attack than some of these other teams do. But I think that's something that's going to be a big key fixture. If they bring out that back 3, then they're really going to be going for the game, and they're really thinking they can put the goals in against us. If they go out with the 4, maybe they're giving us a little more credit than we deserve, and maybe we'll see a little less attacking potential from them. What do you think about?
They're at home. They've been scoring goals in bunches. I think they're going to be sticking to what's gotten them here so far. And since they've switched to the 3-man back line, they haven't lost a game. They've just been scoring goals. And yes, their opponents have been in the bottom half of the conference, but you only can play who's in front of you. So they're doing their job just as much as we should have handled Reno at home with a 2-goal lead.
Absolutely.
We lost an opportunity there. They're seizing their opportunities, especially against teams they should beat.
Yeah. They did have the Open Cup loss, so maybe that'll lose them a little momentum. But like you said, that wasn't really their starting lineup probably too much like it was for us. They are going to be coming into this game with much more confidence than us, having won those last few games and winning them by so many goals. Do you think that's going to play a difference, the confidence with us and them coming in with maybe a little more, maybe us a little bit on the back foot?
Yeah, I mean, their confidence has to be sky high right now because they're not just squeaking out 1-0 wins against LA or against OKC. I mean, they're scoring goals in bunches. I think they scored 4 and 5 in their last 2 wins. So, I mean, when everybody's scoring goals, like we mentioned, they have 4 players that have scored at least 3 goals this year. And, on the opposite end, we have 1 player who scored more than 3 goals this year. So they have multiple players who are finding the back of the net and have found the back of the net very recently. So I don't see them slowing down. It's going to be a very difficult game. I would say that this is the first game of the season where I do not feel very confident in what's going to happen this weekend.
With that said, this is a tough one, but what do you think in the score prediction is going to be? Do you think we can eke something out here, or do you think it's going to go to Phoenix?
I hope that I'm wrong, but I just see us losing, and I think we lose 3-1, something like that, because, I mean, until our team can show that we can stop attacks, it's going to be difficult for me to predict any opponent, home or on the road, to score under 2 goals that has a potent attack. So, maybe it's recency bias, but I'm not feeling so confident after the last couple of performances.
I'm with you, and again, I'm with you. I hope I'm wrong, but I was going to go with a 2-1 loss for us. I think we have the potential of scoring goals. We've seen that, but Phoenix is just going to be a team that I think outclasses us. Now we're going to go in with our highest hopes that we can get something out of this, that we see a little more from the back line, but I am a little shaky. If you guys have a different opinion than that, go ahead and put those in the comments below. Put your score predictions below. We'd love to hear that, discuss maybe what you think is going to be happening. I do think we'll come out with the very same formation that we've been playing. I think Elliot's liked that formation. Now, he has did some personnel changing, but I think he's going to try to come out strong. So you think maybe like Iwasa gets the start, maybe Bijev on the right with Partain playing up front again as well, or?
Yeah, I would say so. I don't expect the lineup to change. I think this is kind of one of those games, and we're not with the team every day, so we're just speculating. But it just feels like it's one of those games where Elliott will roll out most of the same, if not the exact same, starting lineup against Reno, and just kind of put the onus on the players. Like, the tactics were right last game. Giving up 3 goals in 5 minutes is never on the coach. That's just a complete breakdown of 1 or 2 players, but systematically, I mean, they were winning the game 2-0 for 50 minutes of that game, 55 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's just one of those games as a coach where I don't know if you necessarily do a whole lot of changes. You just kind of put it on the players and say, hey, you know what? We have the team that can do it. We have the team that can stop them from scoring. We have a team that can put in goals in the back of the net. Let's show them.
Yeah, maybe he just has got to say they got to do better this time, and maybe in practice they work on some of the things they saw. And it's been the same thing we've seen all season. It's just lapse in judgments it's players standing off players and not really committing. So we've seen it all season, so hopefully it is addressing that. For me, I just think, the key is going to be the back line. And with Horde maybe back to fitness, we saw him in the Open Cup. Maybe he comes in playing. I haven't been super convinced with Seiler so far. I would like to see Rodriguez maybe back in there over Seiler, depending on what Rodriguez's health condition is. I'm not quite sure where he's at. But for me, I think our best back line would be Horde, Rodriguez, Tainter, and Gomez. That's the lineup I think could get us a clean sheet at least. What do you think?
Yeah, I just think I'm not sure if it's necessarily on one player, but since Seiler has been playing, maybe it's just the lack of communication or the uncertainty there, because it did seem like Tainter and Rodriguez had a nice little pairing. Again, it's a small sample size, so we don't truly know. We won't know for a few more games, but it did seem like, especially in the Reno game, that there might have been a little hesitation from one of the two, or like you said, we have defenders backing off. All three attempts were either inside the box or right at the top of the box, in the middle of the goal. So it's one of those things where if you're a half a step behind, if you're not sure of your counterpart, what he's doing, if he's stepping, if you have to take a look at your teammate, you've already given up the space and the time.
That's what's going to happen, yeah. So both of our opinions are kind of bleak on it. Again, if you have your say on it, go ahead and put that in the description below. We love to hear from you. One thing I forgot to mention about the Open Cup that I did want to say, and I'm sure there's no of the City FC City's supporters in it, but they did come out in force, so I want to applaud them for coming out. I want to applaud all the TBB members. For a Wednesday at 5 o'clock game, there was a good turnout for the supporters on both sides. Both sides were out singing the whole time. So I just wanted to give that a nod. I thought that was great, and both supporters should get a little applause for making that 5 o'clock game. That's great. Until next time, guys, we appreciate you watching this. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Mark's going to be joining us a few times in the future here, a little more often than he has in the past. So, hopefully we'll have him out quite a bit more on the channel. Make sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and all that fun stuff. And until next time, thanks for watching, guys.